Hello everybody and welcome to this 9-hole summary from my opening round in Expert. And if you do want to watch the full 18 round and the full stream, that was on Ian Ballingers channel, so you can find the link to that video in the description down below. But I wanted to make a voiceover with the back nine from my Expert round, which is going to display first and foremost the shots that I do play in my guide, and will therefore involve a lot of drops. You can see that the front and the back nine are basically identical except for hole number 18 where we got the albatross. So we're gonna go in directly to hole number 1, which is gonna be, we're gonna count here so we get correct: 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we start here. So the thing that I would like you to think about here on hole number 1 is that there is two different wind angles. One wind angle that is pointing more straight tailwind, like this one here. You can already notice that this is basically dead on straight tailwind. There is also another type of wind which is coming northwest. Northwest wind is definitely the one that suits this shot the best. 1.5 left spin, 1 bar back spin, and then I line up with Grizzly level 9 at +6. If I do have a Grizzly 7 or 8, I do line up in absolute maximum distance. You can also see that I turn the screen around a little bit to easier look at the ball guideline to be pointed directly at the pin. Now the adjustment for this one is going to be with the Grizzly, a pretty hefty over adjustment. And the over adjustment is 15% max distance here. And you can see here that now when we do have a pretty much a straight tailwind, we do miss right, and that's kind of makes sense completely in my opinion. So I would strongly recommend you to, when you do have a dead on straight tailwind, we do need to pull our adjustment in an 11.59. If we do have a wind coming right to left, we need to pull with a minor 12.01. Hard to recognize maybe, but that's something we will have to do. This is a very tough hole for hole number 1. Going to hole number 2 here, I do go with option number 2 in the guide, which is right side, for those of you that don't know what option number 2 means. And here I start at +16 using 2 right spin and all top spin that I do have on my Apocalypse. And here I would advise you to play with the Apocalypse if you're gonna go right, because we do need not all the curl, but a lot of curl. If you don't have the curl, you maybe have like an Apocalypse 1 or 2, then I would recommend to just go straight forward and bounce on the pad for your eagle. Because right side, then we do have the possibility for an albatross, in my opinion, way better than playing straight forward. So adjustment, max distance, power 3 ball settings, and we adjust backstop and then to right. Curl is going to be approximately 2 balls outside the adjustment ring to the right, and then obviously try to hit perfect. You can hit great left, great right, and now we do want this ball to approximately 375 yards. So 377 is good. So if we can get minimum 375, that would be very, very good, because that means that we can reach with our sniper. And yes, it's a big boy club with sniper level 10, but sniper level 9, and maybe a stretch sniper 8 with a very good drive, but sniper level 9 especially would have no problem to reach here. Now I'm using 1.5 bar back spin, 1.5 bar left spin, and have in mind that the spin needs to be a bit adapted. I'm looking for the second bounce to be just at the cutoff by the fringe and the green. Ball guideline approximately 1 green square short of pin. And now in this example here from +8, I do adjust 8.4 for an 8.1. But I would strongly advise you from +8 as a reference to adjust 1 to 1. So an 8.1 adjustment for an 8.1 wind. But in the end I adjust 8.4 and I do hit perfect. And you're gonna see that we come in with a nice amount of speed, but we unfortunately do miss this shot on the right hand side because we do over adjust that one. So a 1 to 1 from +8, then obviously need to tweak based on what comes off the like if you get a different type of position. So we leave hole 1 and hole 2 without any drops and go to hole number 3, which in my opinion is going to be an absolute must drop if you're going to have anything to do with winning this tournament. So we're going to start off by looking at the drive. Here I'm using the extra mile. You can use basically whatever type of driver you want to use, like in terms of extra mile, Thor's hammer, or the Apocalypse for that matter. 6 top, 3 left. Plus 2 yard mark with extra mile level 9. Extra mile level 8, you should start at plus 3 because it's a 1 yard difference in terms of power. Half of the blue ring inside the rough to the left, but more importantly the ball guideline pointing straight down the middle. Apply max plus 10, and we are not going to go into overpower, so we're just going to do a regular shot. Perfect ball, nice, and obviously a great left and a great right will still be fine, but to be able to follow the yardage table and the yardage described in the in the guide, you do need to hit perfect to have maximum way of getting the adjustment correct. 345 with the Grizzly level 9. We're gonna adjust the Grizzly level 9 66%, but you're gonna notice here that I do actually adjust this one for 62%, and the reason I do say 66% now is because I've tweaked this adjustment a little bit, because you will see sorry, my bad, I take that back. So second shot I play 66%, because on the front 9 I played from 345, I played 62%, and in that way I did get the drop on the right hand side of the cup, and that's why I added a bit more adjustment so we do get the drop on the pin instead of being playing with the right side of the cup. Hopefully that made sense in the end after I started with my very weirdly adjustment there. Now obviously perfect ball, 1 top spin, top of the red ring by the edge of the rough line. Very important to find the same and consistent spot. Don't try to have a half and half adjustment with half of the blue or half of the yellow or half of the red. Always go with a full one to be able to replicate that one in a nice way. So from 345 with Grizzly level 9, we play 66%. If you do play with a Grizzly 7 or 8, you play 6% extra, so that would have been a 72% due to less power. For hole number 4, I tried a new shot out, and this shot I dropped on front and back 9, pretty much identical, and it's now added to the guide as well. 4 bars of top spin, 1 bar of left spin is what we start by doing. I'm looking to have a wind between 7 and 8 miles per hour. So if I do have a high wind with a Kingmaker, I change to a wind for power 3. And if I do have a low wind with a Kingmaker, then I play with a Kingmaker. So between 7 and 8. Blue ring by the bunker with the second bounce just into the fringe. So just into the fringe with the second bounce is my focus. Pull angle should be as close to 12 as possible, like a straight pull. Adjustment, we are going to play this one medium distance plus 40, so 40, power 2 balls setting. So power 2 ball settings, mid plus 40. And this one came in so nicely twice. And it's right at pin twice as well when catching that funnel on the green. I would strongly recommend you to play this shot, and I do believe you're gonna see a very nice result from that. So we move on to hole number 5. Now we're gonna go for green. I follow the guide here completely as I've been playing it since start of the tournament, using my Apocalypse level 5, which is a driver that I do have the most power. If you do have a different type of driver, then you go like different driver that is the best one. Let's say you have an Apocalypse level 4, then I would rather play with an extra mile level 8 due to more power. So the power controls what you want to do. Add spin, 2 bars of side spin. You're gonna see me changing a little bit from the max top spin I think I did in the end. Adjust from max plus 10, push out the max, and I play this one 5.5 top spin with a 9.5. I would recommend you to go with that with a 9.5. If you do have an 11, I would recommend you to play with 4. And then in the end, if you do have some type of in-between type of wind, then you will have to, make some minor tweaks between 4 to a 5.5 bar topspin. get over the rough nicely. We get into a very nice position here for left side of the pin. If we can be on that spot, then we are going to see ourselves dropping the shot very nicely all the time, because there is a massive funnel. So the massive funnel is going to be played first and foremost. I'm using the wedge that I do feel the most comfortable with. Obviously I use right spin here to catch the funnel much more easy. 4 to 5 bars of topspin. If you do have more topspin, try not to use that much, because then you're gonna be having a harder time to catch the funnel. So you can see that I'm inside the funnel. Look now, when I adjust a lot here, I think I adjust like 5 rings for the end ring level 6 from very, very close range. I'm still inside the cup. And that is because we're inside the funnel, which means with a great left or a perfect here, in this case, we're gonna drop this one without any issues. I do think I shoot great left. No, I hit perfect. Woohoo! It's perfect ball. We get that ball in the hole nicely for an eagle. This one needs to be an eagle, obviously, due to that we can reach the green, or like reach close to the green in one. Hole number 6. Now we're actually going to go to front 9, because on back 9 I tried to go over the water. I failed, I failed massively with that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna go 6 to look at the shot that we do have in guide with sniper, and rather check that one instead of checking a failed type of shot. So I play to the left using a kingmaker, reducing the wind. You can play with a titan as well. I would have nothing against that at all. I think hole 6 here would definitely be a way of looking at spending a less valued ball. 3 bars of left spin, half a bar of top spin. If you only have 2 bars of side spin like a titan, then you use that instead. Adjust max plus 10. I push up half a ring with, if I do have a driver that has 236 yards or more. If I do have 235 yards or less on my driver, I will be pushing up 1 ring. Half a ball of curl to the left. And now I do hit great left as well, and you can see we are super safe even with a great left, and we will be super safe with a great right as well. So let's take a look at shot number 2 here. And we do have the sniper here, and obviously the higher level sniper you have, the better it's going to be. But obviously we will have to adapt our spin based on what position we are after the drive, like how long the drive is. Here I'm using a little side spin right, 1.5 bar top spin as well, trying to leave the ball guideline approximately 2 green squares short of pin. But you're gonna see that I'm gonna come in very hot, and that has been the issue for me with this shot alone. But also you can see me playing with, I'm trying to have a straight pull angle, but it does seem that we do have a flicker of 12 or 1. However, though, I do think that an 11.59 would be honestly better to pull ourselves a bit further back so we don't come in that hot, or we back up with our adjustment already from the start. I play max with no elevation on this one, and you can see here that we aren't really close. We come in hot, we get the zoom in, needed a little bit more, but however, though, I would like us to back up a little bit, because if we come in this hot, and if we not hit the pin, we are not going to drop that for an albatross. So hole number 6 definitely needs some work. We go back up again, 9, 8, 7. We're going to take a look at hole number 7. And hole number 7 is also a must eagle in my opinion. So we're gonna start off here by looking at the drive, and here I play with a power 5 ball. That might be a bit different from others that you have been watching, because they play mostly with a power 3 ball, and I do think that's due to reducing the wind for the second shot. I really enjoy the berserker shot here, where I put myself somewhere between plus 28 and max distance here. It doesn't really matter, and it sounds weird to say that, but it doesn't. The important part for you is to add the top spin you have and 2 bars of left spin, and then make sure you have the second bounce into the rough. Here I do believe that I was a little bit high up in the rough, and that's why I pulled back just to make sure that I correct my failed adjustment from the start by putting the landing position too far up as a starting point. Adjust max plus 10, we go with curl. Ball to be just outside there to the left, and we get ourselves to 367. if we play to get from 365 to 369, then we're gonna play the dunk for the second shot for minimum distance -10. If we do have more yardage, we're getting to 370 to 372, we're gonna play min -15. That's 1 decimal difference with a thorn, and that's all that is needed. Here I would say don't use one right spin, try to use the backspin so you do have the ball guideline kind of corrected to the hole. So if you would be missing the pin on especially left hand side, you would have a chance to drop it. Blue rings just at the very back end of the cup. Make sure that we do not have any 1201, rather have a little 1159, and then we're going to adjust for minimum distance -10%, power 5 ball obviously, and then it's time to hit perfect. But here we need to have the ball centered, very much centered. If we do have a little underpower, then we could potentially go short. Write that pin for a nice eagle here on hole number 7, and the dunk is strongly recommended because honestly playing that wedge on that hill, that is very much a crap position, so the dunk is definitely the better option. Hole number 8, we move on, and hole number 8 we do have the shot that I do go for a rough bump. Here I have been trying to identify the wind angles that we do have, and I'm working on a little tweak here. I'm going to explain what I'm going to try to do next. Here I'm using 2.1 backspin, 3 bars of left spin, put myself in absolute minimum distance with my quarterback. So I'm picking the sniper as a wood club to be able to keep myself in minimum distance without pulling back to the next club. Here, a ball guideline to the hole, and when you don't have the trees in your face, then you have more headwind than you normally have. So here I would like us to have a clear 1201. I also think that we should be reducing and play only 2 bars of backspin with this type of wind. If you do have a wind angle that makes you adjust where the trees are in your face, so let's say like the trees are in your face, then you're gonna still go with a 1201, but you're still gonna keep the 2.1 backspin, because we don't come in hot here. But in the end though, the way that we are adjusting needs a bit more 1201, so we don't risk go too short. We also in that case need a little more adjustment in this case for the rough bump. This is however a very nice opportunity, and you need to just identify the wind angle, and then I'm using if you're covered by the tree or not to try to decide how I'm going to play that shot. But still a work in progress to get that one 100%. Hole number 9, here I didn't chicken out, I went for green. It was time to give it a go, and I'm happy to show you that I didn't fail. So yeah, I'm using max top spin, which is 5.8, 2 bars of right spin. Now I do have an 11.5. According to the guide, I want to have between 10 and 11 to find the position that we had, where we had the outside white ring just where the sand was mixing together with the water. So I moved it a ring more left to compensate for that little bit higher wind. Now we go with a power slice, we go with approximately 1.5 ball curl, and then we need to be a little bit lucky. And you can see we bounce nicely, we do get a good camera angle, and we just get this really weird roll there over the bunker. Obviously super duper lucky, but getting this ball to green is involving a big portion of luck. But I would recommend that if you do get a wind that is at least 10 miles per hour, then I would strongly advise you to try that shot. Even though there is a lot of risk involved, getting it close to green in some sort will automatically give yourself a much better alba chance than you would get by doing the rough bump otherwise. So please have that in mind. I do think that this is the best type of shot, even though it's scary as peep. So a great ball to the right, obviously it's not gonna be any problems, but with an end bringer, but make sure obviously to adjust properly and hit perfect. Albatross on hole number 18 was the cherry on the top. to move on from the opening round in Expert. So for those of you that are Patreons, having our summer special or not, having the Ultimate Tournament guides, there is not many tweaks that has been uploaded, because I'm very pleased with how I played, and those minor things that I'm talking about is basically stuff that we do adjust based on how we read the course. Like we're gonna sometimes come in a different situation where that is not explained in the guide, then we need to adapt there. It's impossible to cover all type of angles and ways that's gonna happen. But I'm very pleased to having a money shot on hole number 4. Hole number 1 is going to be a very inconsistent one, and I do believe hole 8 is going to be a problem as well generally. But in the end though, if you find something else that works, then go with that. Whatever works is what's going to be good. But a 33 will go a long way. This is an Expert master bracket, and you can see this is a bracket where 26 people has played, and we have another a total of let's see, total of 62 people have started, and based on how their scores are looking, there is no one that's going to be near a minus 33, which obviously is going to reach a long way in the weekend round. But will that be gold? I don't know, and we will see. So in the end though, everyone, I do strongly appreciate, or not strongly, but I heavily appreciate you watching this walkthrough. It might not be a stream as you wanted to, but please check out the stream that was on Ian Ballingers' channel, link in the description down below. I will be back for more content for the Euro Champions Tournament on Friday, the 24th of July, for Pro and Expert. If you do have any type of questions, Patreon or not a Patreon, you email support@golf-tommy.com. That's the best way to send your questions. You can also then attach videos or pictures or whatever to get that one correctly. If you do want, not correctly, but if you do want to have give us an easier time to give you an answer, you can also get the best guides on the market, the Ultimate Tournament guides on Patreon. Check out our summer special, not many days left of that here in July. Check it out and get the guides here for the Euro Champions Tournament. In the end though, a massive good luck to you all in the tournament.